Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Draw with Rob. With me, Rob Biddulph. There I am on the back of the award-winning book, Draw with Rob. I'm sure many of you have got that book. I get lots of pictures from inside that book that you've drawn. It's really nice to see. Now, I'm a children's author and illustrator. I have written lots of books like this one. This one is one of my favourite stories that I've written. It's all about this bear here called Fred, who loses his growl. If you haven't read it, I strongly recommend you check it out. It's a good one. This is my latest one at the time of recording. It's called Dog Gone. All about Teddy the pug, who loses his human one day when he's out on a dog walk. There they are, going out on their walk, happy as Larry. Then something happens, and look, Teddy realises that he's lost his human, Dave, and he looks for him everywhere, but he doesn't find him. And then he looks in a very scary shed, and he finds something other than his human. I'm not going to tell you what happens though, but it's a nice story. Right, we're here today to do a picture together. There we go. So you're going to need a piece of paper to draw on. Surprise, surprise. You are going to need a pen to draw with. You might need something to colour with a bit later on. This is how Draw with Rob works, in case you haven't seen it before. Lots of children, lots of adults too, they tell me they don't think they're very good at drawing, because what they do, if I was to just show you a picture and say copy that, sometimes you might not know where to start. So that's where I help, because what I do is I break those pictures down into their little bite-sized component parts, and I draw them a little tiny bit at a time, and then you can copy me a little bit at a time, and hopefully at the end it's like a jigsaw puzzle. By the time you've put it all together, it makes a lovely picture. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to draw a little shape here, pause me, copy the shape that I draw, start me up again, I'll draw some more, you draw, I draw, you draw, I draw, you draw, I draw, and we're going to end up with a lovely picture. Now, today I thought we would draw a rooster. It's springtime here in London, and the clocks have just gone forward, which means we have to get up an hour earlier than we're used to getting up in the winter. So a rooster or a cockerel, I think they're called cockerels up until they're 1 year old, and then thereafter they are called a rooster, but basically they're just male chickens. But what they do is when dawn breaks, so when the sun first breaks over the horizon, rises over the horizon, they stand there and they cock-a-doodle-doo really loudly to signal a new day dawning. That's what they do. And do you know what I could do with one of those at the moment? I'm finding it very hard to get up in the morning and take my daughters to school. So I could do with a rooster in my back garden to wake me up. But seeing as I haven't got a rooster, the next best thing is to show you guys how to draw a rooster. Okay, let's start then, shall we? Now, a little bit of an unusual start for this drawing, because I want you, towards the top of your page, I want you to draw quite a tall, thin diamond shape, like this. So a tall, thin diamond. You didn't expect us to start our drawing with a diamond shape, did you? But that's the beauty of Draw with Rob, you see. We sort of break it down into these really sort of unexpected and unusual shapes that when you put them all together, it all makes sense, and hopefully that will be the case today. Now then, inside that first diamond, I want you to draw another one, a bit smaller. So about this sort of size, like that, okay? And this time we're going to colour this one in. There we go. See, to me, it's really obvious which part of the rooster this is, but probably for you, it isn't. I'm just going to use a slightly thinner pen just to make it nice and pointy at the top, like that. There we go. Okay, right, the next thing to do is, to the right of our diamond shape, around about here, I want you to draw a fairly small circle, like that. Okay? And we want to draw another one exactly the same size on this side. So just a nice circle, like that. And inside each of those circles, we are going to do another smaller circle. Lots of smaller shapes within shapes in this drawing so far, isn't there? And I think you can probably recognise that these two bits here are eyes. So I wonder if you can tell what this is. That's right, that is our rooster's beak, but It's open. Cock-a-doodle-doo! It's opening right towards the camera, so it's creating this funny diamond shape. Right, next thing to do is to our eyes, I want you just to add, we're just going to add 4 little lines like that on each. Sort of 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock, like that. Just to give our little rooster a bit of character. Okay, I'm just going to even make that even pointier. There we go. Now, what I want you to do next is coming out of the sort of this area of the eye, so sort of 10 and 11 o'clock area of the eye, I want you to draw a curve that you have to imagine it goes through that beak and joins up with the other eye, like that. Okay, slightly tricky, but we can do this, we can do it together. Then I want you to imagine that that curve goes all the way through the eye here and carries on through this side, and then starts heading straight down the page, but we're not going to go very far down the page, because when we get to here, I want you to sort of come around in a semicircle, and then start another little semicircle there, into the beak, like that. Let's try and do exactly the same on the other side. So imagine that curve carries on through the eye, we're going to come down, go up in a little semicircle, and then go up in another one there. Okay, so that's forming the first part of our rooster's head. Then what I want you to do is carry on. We're going to not go in a dead straight line down. We're going to move slightly inside. We're going to come down our page about that far, and then I want you to do 1, 2, 3, 4 before we join up again there. So these are a very simple way of drawing our rooster's kind of neck feathers here. I'm doing it in a very stylized way. That's often the way that we do these Draw with Rob videos. If you were to look at a photo of a rooster, it wouldn't look exactly like that photograph. A photo of a rooster became Foster. I don't know. Mixing up my words today. Yeah, it wouldn't look exactly like that photograph, but it would sort of look like a rooster, because we sort of do a simplified version of that photograph. That's what we're doing with these drawings here. Okay, I want you to do another one of these below. So we're going to come down again, and then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's a bit like waves, isn't it, this shape here? But there's 3 levels of them. Okay, and this is going to form our rooster's neck. Okay, the next thing to do is roosters have a sort of, I think it's a sort of feathery, I don't know what it's made of actually. It's called a comb on top of their head, and it's sort of like a funny spiky hairstyle really. And this is how we're going to draw it. We're going to go up, back down, then we're going to stop before we get to the end, and we're going to go up in the middle like that, back down, and then up one last time, back down, and join up with our head. And this is our rooster's comb on top of their head. It's called a comb. I think of it as a kind of funky hairstyle. Okay, now it's time to do our rooster's body. We are going to do the main body as a big round circle like this. So I want you to start here, and we are going to come out and around in a big circle, but we're not going to finish our circle off. We're going to actually just do about half of it, and we're going to come down to about there, so roughly level with that first little sort of lumpy bit there. Let's do the same on the other side, but a mirror image. So we're going to come out and around like that. Don't worry if it's not a perfect circle. As you can see, mine is far from perfect. It just gives our drawing a little bit more character when it's not perfect. But we're leaving a gap of about 2 or 3 centimeters in the middle, at the bottom. And that's because we need to draw our rooster's legs down here. This is how we're going to do that. This is a fun bit. We're going to do lots of little sort of lines like that, because it's sort of feathery. And we're going to do a sort of shape like that for one leg, and exactly the same on the other side. So can you see, I'm just using my brush to make lots of little sort of fluffy bits like that, to make the leg sort of nice and fluffy like that. But that is just the top part of our leg actually, because the bottom part I'm using a slightly thinner pen to make it a bit easier for me. And this is how we're going to do that. We're going to come down with 2 straight lines like that from each of the feathery parts of the leg, just like that. Then at the bottom, we are going to do one diagonal line, like that. Another one like that, and another one like that. That's going to be our rooster's foot number 1, foot number 2, exactly the same. 3 little toes, like that. And there we go. There's our rooster's feet. Now we need to add some wing detail here. So what we're going to do, we're just going to do another curve inside this shape. We're going to do a curve that comes out and goes up to that area there. And we're going to do another one that just follows it up and around, so it gives us something to colour in a bit later on. Then we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. So we're going to come down, like so, around to about there, and then another one on the outside. So it's nice and symmetrical, like that. We are nearly there now with our rooster. The last thing to do is they have these magnificent tail feathers behind them. And this is how we're going to do that. The first one we are going to do, it's going to be coming from behind. So it's going to be coming from the rooster's bottom, which we can't see, sort of at the back of the rooster. But it's going to be coming up here, past the neck sort of thing. Coming up, and they come around in a lovely curve to about there. And then we're going to go in a nice rounded shape at the end and head back behind the neck, but I'm going to make it get slightly narrower towards the end. Do you see what I mean? And then the next one is the same shape, but it's going to start from here. We're going to do 3 of these tail feathers, and they're just going to change angle very slightly. It comes out, it's a bit longer this one, but similar shape, round, like that. It's tricky this bit, a bit tricky, but you guys can do it, I know you can. There's 2, and then the last one is going to come up again at a slightly different angle, maybe slightly more curved, down and around like that, before joining back up behind our rooster's body. Now we're going to try and do the same on the other side, a mirror image. So always when you're drawing, just keep looking across, so you're trying to get it roughly the same. It's never going to be perfect. Do not worry at all if it's not perfect. It really doesn't matter. Just do the best you can. As I say, it's those little imperfections that give your drawing its charm. So whatever you do, we do not want to screw our picture up and start again, even if you make a little mistake, because I make mistakes all the time. I just keep on drawing. There we go, number 2. Lastly, this one, coming down, around, turn around, up we go. There we go. There is our little rooster. Now, I want our rooster's mouth wide open, cock-a-doodle-doo. He's going to be saying something. What could he be saying? He could be saying, good morning. He could be saying, rise and shine. He could be saying, wake up everybody. It's time to go to school. He could be doing whatever you want. I am going to draw mine. I'm not going to do him saying a word, actually. This is quite a fun thing. I like doing this sometimes. I'm going to do mine. Do you remember whenever we do a voice bubble, we always draw or write what's in the voice bubble before we draw the voice bubble itself? So I'm going to do a little picture in my voice bubble. You'll see, hopefully this will make sense when I've done it. I'm going to do a little circle like that. And above that, I'm going to do a little semicircle there. A little semicircle there, like that. In the middle, you're going to have a little sort of thing sticking up like that. Little shape in the middle there. And then 2 little legs at the bottom. Join those up. And then, this hopefully will make sense of what I've drawn. Do a little dot in the middle. Little arrow pointing up there. That's right, we're drawing a little alarm clock, because our rooster is just saying, it's time to get up, so I've just drawn a picture of an alarm clock. What time should we set our alarm for? Let's do it for 7 o'clock. We don't want to be too early, do we? Come on, let's have a little bit of a lie-in. 7 o'clock, like that. And then let's draw a little voice bubble around it. So here we go. First of all, we draw the little tail coming from the rooster's mouth. And then I'm going to do a nice little circular voice bubble. And there we go. There is my rooster crowing for day, within a little alarm clock signal saying it's 7 o'clock, time to get up, off you go, school time, pack your bags, eat your breakfast, brush your teeth, time to go. What do you think? Pretty cool, huh? Right, time to do a bit of colouring. Now, roosters are all sorts of colours. They're actually very beautiful. Lots of the time they're sort of brown, but their combs are red, and their tails, they have some red and orange and yellows in their tail feathers and stuff. But you know what? It's Draw with Rob, isn't it? You can do your rooster any colour you like. In fact, today I think I'm going to go a bit crazy with my colours. I might do something slightly unexpected, but hopefully it will all work together in a nice little picture. So I'm going to go off into super speed mode to do my colouring. I will see you back here 20 or 30 seconds time. Okay, you ready? 3, 2, 1, let's go. Okay, there is my finished rooster. So do you see what I mean? I've gone for quite unusual colours, but I think they work really nicely together. So I don't know if there actually is any roosters out there that have blue bodies like that. They are mainly reds and browns and oranges and gold. But you know what? I just really wanted to do a blue body. I think it's fun with Draw with Rob that we can be creative with our colour choices, can't we? And do something a little bit different. I know that the French national emblem is a cockerel or a rooster, and I associate France with blue and red and white, obviously, because they're the colours of their flags, and their national football team wears a blue shirt, so I think that's why I've done blue. It just sort of seemed to fit, and I am really pleased with this one. Got to sign it. When you're really pleased with your drawing at the end, you must make sure everybody knows who the artist is. Even if you're not that pleased with it, you should still sign your drawings. You need to claim your artwork as your own, don't you? It's very important. I can't wait to see your drawings of roosters. What you need to do is get your grown-up to take a picture of your drawings and then post it on social media using the Draw with Rob hashtag. That way I will get to see it. Maybe your drawing will make the grid at the end of the week. Teachers in schools, do take pictures of your class all holding up their drawings. I love to see those. That's really fun for me to see that, and I know lots of you use my drawings in your classes, which I'm very honoured that you do that. I'm really pleased about that. So do send me pictures of the class holding your drawings up, and yes, everybody else, get your pictures in. I want to see them. I hope you've had fun drawing this rooster with me today. I think I should draw a hen at some point. I've drawn a male chicken, which is a rooster. I think maybe at some point we should do a hen Draw with Rob. What do you think? Should we do that? Let's do it. Okay, in the meantime, everybody, keep on drawing. Keep those pencils sharpened. Be kind to everybody. Very important. And I am going to see you very soon for another episode of Draw with Rob. Bye, everyone. Hello everyone, I'm back and I'm here to tell you about something super exciting. I know lots of you have enjoyed my Draw with Rob activity books. Well, guess what? We've got a brand new one and it's out now, and it's called Draw with Rob, Build a Story. And as the title suggests, this one is all about telling you how to build your own stories, how to write them, how to illustrate them. We're going to think about characters, how to choose your good guys and your bad guys. We're going to think about where you set your stories, very important. When you set your story, is it going to be in the past, set in the past, or in the future, present day? We're going to talk about how to structure your story. We need to give it a good beginning, middle, and end. What about plot twists? Unexpected things happen in your story. It's all covered in this book here. And we've also got our regular draw-alongs, loads of draw-alongs in this one, lots of puzzles, lots of colouring. It's super fun. Every single page is perforated, so once you've done your little draw-along like this one of a unicorn, you draw it in the frame here and you tear that page out and you stick it up on the wall. That's super cool, isn't it? And guess what? Right at the end, we've even got lots of blank pages like that for you to write your own story and illustrate your own story, and then you can put the whole thing together. Look. You put your own story together like that, and then you've made your own book. You don't need me anymore. So listen, I'm super proud of this book. I'm pretty sure you're going to really, really enjoy it. And guess what? It's out now. You can get it from wherever you buy your books. Okay, so listen, I hope you enjoy it, and I'm going to see you really soon for another episode of Draw with Rob. Bye everyone.